All right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, B'chakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops at Great Millstone for teaching me this truth. From your brother Rabbi Knapp coming out with a lesson, Lord's will, is edifying to the Lord's elect. Get my thing situated here real quick. Look into the news real quick, see what the duck is doing. Let's see what this duck is doing, man. Okay, supposedly, turn the volume up. Mamdani invokes Trump in fiery speech, laying out plan of action. So now you got somebody that Duck is saying that is like a socialist, and he said he's not gonna send forth any aid over there and all that. So we'll see what's gonna happen in New York. I think that it's probably a guise of trying to implement something with the MOTB or digital currencies, or because they had a Chinese mayor trying to run on, trying to get people to have. He ran. I forgot what his name was, but it was a Moabite. He tried to. Excuse me, I got so many thoughts in my head. He tried to implement universal basic income. He brought that idea to pass, or he brought it up. Let's see if I can find him. Chinese mayor of New York who tried to run on universal basic income. Andrew Yang. The person you are thinking of is Andrew Yang, an entrepreneur who ran for mayor of New York City in 2021 on a platform that included a form of universal basic income. He is of Taiwanese descent and was the most prominent Asian American candidate in the race. So I wouldn't be surprised. He was trying to run on some type of, we need change and stuff like that. A lot of people voted for Mamdani because they said the cost of living was too high. But the cost of living is gonna be too high because it's that time, man. Okay, it's a time where, the times that we're living in today is a time where it's gonna be unprecedented. The more things that are gonna happen, You never paid this much rent, and the rent's been as high as it's ever been. We never seen anything like that. You see more scooters on the road. That shit happens in third world countries, man. Growing up, I don't remember no scooters being on the road the way they are. The pay's up much higher. I used to get paid $9 an hour to fucking turn tires. Now they paying $20 an hour for that same job, and that's still nothing. $20 damn an hour is nothing. U.S. money, man, that's crazy. Okay, so we living in a time where, all these things are coming to pass, man, and the Lord spoke about all these things, man. So if you don't know your Bible, if you don't go to church, I suggest you do some reading. I suggest you actually do it. If you hear something that resonates with your spirit, man, go look it up for yourself. Because it tells you in Romans 14, let me grab that. Romans 14. Let's go there. Let's start there. Romans chapter 14 in verse, I'll start at the top, the points of 5. Him that is weak in the faith receive ye, but not to doubtful disputations. Let's see what that means. It's a simple search away, but people don't look these things up. I read the Bible all the time, every single day, and I forget more than I remember, man. Okay, but the Lord gave us a way to even seek it out. Okay, let's go there. Romans 14 verse 1 meaning. I want to know what doubtful disputations mean. Paul begins this chapter addressing how believers should deal with differences in personal convictions, especially regarding dietary laws, feast days, and traditions. That's right, man. Dietary laws, you read Leviticus, the 11th chapter, fighting over these things. You need to know these things in your heart, man. Paul was trying to, there was all these disputations about different things about the scriptures, but you need to be persuaded in your own mind, ultimately. Anyone could tell you, oh, no, I think you could do this and do that. That's not what that means, and this, that. He said that this means that. Paul was there to clear all that up, man. The law's not done away with, like it says in Matthew the 5th chapter. Let's grab that as a matter of fact. Yahushua never said that these laws were done away with. So we got to implement these laws. All right? And following these laws, it's going to save you. If you still eating shrimp, crab, and lobster, that's not helping you, man. We just found out that a couple months ago, you had radioactive isotopes in your shrimp. And you love eating that bullshit, man. So if you kept the law, guess what? You wouldn't have done that. So that's the Lord protecting you. Just being obedient. Okay, so that's walking with faith, keeping the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of your ability. Hey, there's a benefit to that. That's a clear benefit. And he has it in the news all the time. But if you don't watch the news, you didn't know there was radioactive isotopes in your great value shrimp from Walmart. Okay? That's why the Lord sends his servants the prophets. Okay, Matthew chapter 5. I believe it's verse 17. Let me grab that real quick. Matthew 5, verse 17. Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. So he came to fulfill parts of the scriptures that pertain to him. It had to be played out. And you could Google a bunch of different things he was doing. Okay, because it tells you in Isaiah the 8th chapter, in verse number 20, to the law and to the testimony. Let me read it. Isaiah 8, verse 20, to the law and to the testimony. If they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. So you got to watch out the way people are saying these things. You know, people telling you you should do this and you should do that. You know, and they might even use the Bible and tell you, oh, this is justified and that's not justified. You need to know within your own mind. That's what I'm trying to get into. Romans 14, verse 2. For one believeth that he may eat all things, another who is weak eateth herbs. Yeah, so some people say, you know what? I'll just eat herbs, man. It's so confusing. Can I eat this or not? Can I eat that or not? Okay? But we just read it in Matthew. Yahushua taught Paul. Well, he came up at the foot of Gamaliel, but everything came through Yahushua, man. Okay? Telling them, you gotta keep the law, man. You gotta keep the law. He didn't come to destroy the law. He didn't tell you can now eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster and all of these things. Eating things sacrificed unto idols. But he gave Paul to further elaborate on these things. Okay, because that was a big issue during that time, is eating things offered unto idols. No, you still gotta keep the law, man. If it's clean, meaning according to the law, Levitical law, Leviticus the 11th chapter, then you can eat it. All right, but if it's not clean and you don't, then don't eat it. And if you know that it's sacrificed to an idol, don't eat it. But if you don't know, you can eat it. Okay, all of our food sacrificed to idols, man. We're eating that shit today. We don't even think about it anymore. Okay, because we understand these idols don't exist. Okay, the power comes from the Most High. Let's get this in the book of Psalms, chapter 75. Okay, and he's the one who set up, I wanted to get into Mamdani, but it's gonna play itself out. I brought out the Chinese Andrew Yang. He was trying to implement universal basic income in 2021. Now it's 4 years later. You got a progressive mayor over there in New York, and that's a huge city to implement something as big as a digital ID or something like that, in the form of trying to help you with the increase of rent and all this shit, your daily life or whatever. All right, I'm not going to increase the rent. I'm not going to do all these things. So clearly Esau's trying to use some type of that's going to be some type of ground zero for some type of agenda he got running in the near future. Psalms chapter 75 and verse 5. Nope. Psalm 75 and verse 6. For promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south. But the heavenly Father is the judge. He putteth down one and setteth up another. And he's the one who set up Mamdani over there. He's the one who set up Esau Edom above him. And Duck's already talking about not funding New York and whatever they got going on over there. Because they said he wanted, what's his name, Cuomo to be back in there. You saw what Cuomo did in 2020. He put a lot of people to death, man. All right? A A lot of people wanted him, but they want some form of change, but they don't understand the change is coming from the Lord. The Lord's ordaining this wickedness to happen because he got judgment coming to y'all, man. He's not stopping you, breaking your staff of bread because he likes you. No, it's because you commit abominations to his law. You transgress the laws of God. That's the only way you're going to have a function in society. If it's not implemented by the law, it's going to be destroyed. Okay? And we're seeing it on a day-to-day, just like the Lord is showing us every single day. Just like he showed Ezekiel. He showed Ezekiel the same thing. Ezekiel chapter 8. In verse number 8. It says, then said he, I'll start at 7. Ezekiel, no, I'll start at 6. Actually, I'll start at 5. Ezekiel 8 and 5. I don't want to read the whole chapter. I'm trying to get to the point. Then said he unto me, son of man, lift up thine eyes now the way toward the north. So I lifted up my eyes the way toward the north, and behold, northward at the gate of the altar, this image of jealousy in the entry. Okay, and that's talking about the Lord. He said, furthermore, unto me, son of man, seest thou what they do, even the great abominations that the house of Israel committeth here, that I should go far off from my sanctuary, but turn thee yet again, and thou shalt see greater abominations. So the Lord's revealing the wickedness of Israel during that time in Jerusalem, just like he's revealing the wickedness of Babylon to his prophets in this time. Okay? Book of Ezekiel 8 and 7. And he brought me to the door of the court, and when I looked, behold, a hole in the wall. And we look at that hole in the wall is us basically seeing what's going on in this world. You know, we look at the internet, we watch the news, we see what's going on, man. The Lord, it shows these things to us. Okay? But that a lot of people, they don't have time to look into these things. Okay? Ezekiel chapter 8. In verse 8, then said he unto me, son of man, dig now in the wall. And when I had digged in the wall, behold a door. And he said unto me, go in, and behold the wicked abominations that they do here. And we see all the wicked abominations that they do here, man. First of all, starting with the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, now that we have this truth, we can see all your wicked abominations, okay, that you perform on a day-to-day. Just the things you do on a daily basis. The things you're being accused of, the things that that transgress the laws ultimately. Now you pray to a different God. When you read further in Ezekiel, the 8th chapter, they were worshiping different gods. They were doing it in the sanctuary. And that's the same thing that y'all are doing in these harlot houses. We see what's going on in there, man. Okay? They don't really talk about it. All types of pastors being caught with little boys and girls. Okay? All types of shit's going on in there, man. Being accused of things, and the Lord exposes this to us, man. That y'all still doing the same thing y'all was doing back in Jerusalem, and that's why y'all got exiled out of the land. That's why you got judged. And the same thing is going to happen again, man. All this wickedness is you're going to get judged for it. All right. Romans chapter 14, verse 3: let not him that eateth despise him that eateth not, and let not him which eateth not judge him that eateth. For God have received him. That's right. So if the man didn't want to eat if he wanted to eat the herbs because he felt in his spirit that he was transgressing the Lord, hey, let the man eat the herb, man. Let the man eat the herb, but at the same time, on the Passover, you gotta eat the lamb. You gotta eat the lamb on the Passover. So there ain't nothing wrong with not eating meat. But at the same time, sometimes you gotta eat it, man. That's for reverencing, that's practicing the righteous acts towards the Lord. Okay? We're made to remember by eating the bitter herbs and the lamb of the Lord's sacrifice of Egypt, when he did how he delivered us out of Egypt. We can't never forget these things, man. If we forget about that, we're gonna forget in this time too that he delivered us out of a terrible time then. The book of Romans chapter 14, verse 4. Who art thou that judgest another man's servant? To his own master he standeth or falleth. Yea, he be holding up. For God is able to make him stand. So you're not supposed to judge, man. All right? You're not supposed to judge, during that time, you know, but the point of the matter is you want to be judging yourself. Okay? You want to make sure you're doing what's right. You need to be looking at yourself and making sure that you know why you do with the things you do. So you need to teach yourself. Romans 14 verse 5. One man esteemeth one day above another, another esteemeth every day alike. Let every man be fully persuaded in his own mind. So you got to be fully persuaded in your own mind is the point. Even though it's in context it's talking about the things they were going through in their time, but it's same with the things that we're going through today. The things that you're eating. Spiritually, the things that you digest and you believe in, you got to be persuaded in. You got to be persuaded that the Levitical law is not taken away with. Of course it's not. Why would it be? Why would the Lord write it twice to give it to Moses? The commandments. After he broke them the first time, went back and did it again. Okay? Which is also symbolic of us breaking the law and coming back to it again. All right? So you got to be fully persuaded, man. That's the point of that. And no one's going to be able to teach you. All right? Nah, I don't need that. Let's see what else is going on out here. These damn devils out here running the damn muck. It says 5 takeaways as Democrats sweep elections in New Jersey and Virginia. Who cares? Supreme Court hears Trump tariffs case of staggering importance. Who cares? CA passes Prop 50. Trump threatens legal action. Don't know what that means. The government shutdown is now the longest in U.S. history. See how it compares. Let's see what that's talking about. The longest government shutdown. Hey, the best government shutdown. We want this government to be shut down, man. I hope it never reopens. I know it through the spirit. I know it's going to reopen, and it's going to reopen, but it ain't going to be running the same way. It ain't going to be running like the government you knew before. Nah, all of that's being fixed now. All your snaps, that's going to be partially dispersed. Okay, by the time it opens up, it's not going to be ran the same way. It's going to feel like it's still shut down, because you're not gonna get what you're used to. I just watched a video of a so-called white boy going to the store with a whole bunch of goods he thought he could get away with. He said they ain't gonna do nothing to me. And then they had some dude in a mask, covering his mask, ran up to him and asked him, said, "Where's your receipt?" And he gave up all the goods, man. He gave up all the goods. Yeah, shalom, y'all. You know? So imagine that, man. You're not even gonna feel safe going to the store anymore. You go get a bag of groceries, you might get knocked upside your head for your bread, man. Okay, that's the times we enter into. And do people think that's gonna happen to them? Of course not. Of course not. Why? Because they don't read their Bibles. As a matter of fact, let me grab this in the book of Hosea chapter 4. And Hosea chapter 4. Hosea, where are you? Let's get this. Hosea chapter 4 and verse 1. Hear the word of the Lord Yahweh, ye children of Israel, for the Lord have a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth, mercy, nor knowledge of God in the land. And we're in the same time now. We're in the same exact time. There's no knowledge of the Most High God, Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shah. Everyone worships the so-called white man like he's God in this time. And that's the farthest thing from the truth. All right? He's no God, he's the devil. He's deceived you to think he's God. But the water Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shah, we ain't bowing the knee to that damn devil anymore. All right? Ecclesiastes chapter 8 and verse 10. And so I saw the wicked buried, who had come and gone from the place of the holy, and they were forgotten in the city where they had so done. This is also vanity, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily. Therefore the hearts of the Son of Men is fully set in them to do evil. And that's why Esau does all this evil. He's fully setting himself to do evil because the Lord ain't judges that. Going around rape, robbing, and murdering and got all pedophile rings and all this shit, man. It's because the Lord's allowing this to happen so he can bring forth his wrath. He's created for the day of evil, according to Proverbs 16:4. Let's grab it. That's what he's created for. This damn devil, man. You need to be cussed out. Proverbs 16. You need to be judged, man. You need to go into captivity. In verse 4, the Lord Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, have made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. Who's the wicked? Esau, Edom, Malachi 1, verse 4. Grab it. Good morning, brother. Good morning. Good afternoon, I mean. You have a blessed day, too, all right? My man be walking by all the time. He's an Israelite, but the Lord ain't giving him the spirit to stop. You know? It's not for everybody to hear this word. It's not for everybody, man. You know? I'm feeding the Lord's sheep. His elect sheep that are out there that got ears to hear and eyes to see, man. Okay? I'm not doing this to get views. I'm not doing this. I don't give a fuck. I don't give two shits about YouTube. I would have never made a channel if it, what? Hey, but if it glorifies the Lord, hey, I'm all for it. I'm all for it, man. I want to get Malachi real quick. Malachi chapter 1. Malachi 1:1. The burden of the word of the Lord to Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, saith the Lord, yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith the Lord, yet I love Jacob? Yeah, the Israel might think that. Wherein hast thou loved us? That sounds like a child who, you know, his father keeps telling you he's going to take you to the game. He's going to be at your next basketball game. You know, he's going to be at your next practice. He's going to pick you up from school, and he never come. And then your mother always come pick you up. That's what it sounds like. That's the type of relationship Israel. That's why they liken unto a widow or an orphan. You know, not having that relationship with the Lord. You know, Israel was going through so much, and they can never connect it back to the Lord. And they be the most that seeking the Lord. They're the ones who mostly seeking the Lord, man. I mean, Esau goes and seeks the Lord, but he don't seek Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. He don't want to know the truth. That's why you got Disneyland and shit like that. These Edomites live in a false reality. You know, they live in a false reality. They think this is their hope. This is their glory. This kingdom here, man. And look how wicked and disgusting it is. Look how it was brought up. Okay, that's why they're gonna know in the kingdom that they fucked up. These judgments are going to fall upon y'all. Now they're soft and weak. Esau never been this soft and weak, man. He still puts people to death, but he's not like, it wasn't like before, man. They'll hang you in the street, and then Edomites will bring their kids out and go have a box lunch. You know, they ain't doing that shit anymore. Because it's a shameful history, man. And it tells you, I forgot what chapter it was, it's the second address, I believe, when it talks about how the generations, as they get older, man, they get weaker. So we all have become weaker, you know, but we're all degenerates of our former selves, man. Esau used to come out with the sword quick, 400 men. It was nothing coming out to Esau. You go to Esau's land, man, Esau will bring the sword out, man, quick. All right? And then you go just back a couple hundred years ago, man. This devil was out here being a full damn demon. Then you knew he was the devil. Then you knew it when he was slaughtering your kids, ripping them out of their mother's wombs. But now you're soft now. Now he got you nice and soft. Everything's convenient. Now you don't think he's the devil anymore. He got the Gillette razor blade shave. You think he's good. Okay, but he's the nigga that's coming down with great wrath in these last days. And he gonna slaughter you because you're a fool. Okay, if you never trust thine enemy, as Zion rusteth, so is his wickedness. So he's gonna show you that he's the devil in these last days. because he know he got a short time left. That's why all his laws that he's implemented in a roundabout way, it's all to get the men of the Lord. Okay? Because on the left-hand side, he's doing all this wickedness, but on the right-hand side, hey, we're becoming more righteous. Okay? We're practicing the righteous acts even more. Okay? We're being even closer, getting closer to the Lord. And he's getting more far away, being more wicked. So there's a duality, there's a balance there. As wicked as he is, that's how righteous you gotta be. You gotta turn it up. Your faith should be on extra, it should be on overload, man. It should be like Psalms 23. Your cup should be running over like King David. All right? Malachi 1 verse 3, and I hated Esau. Esau is the so-called white man. Esau, Joshua, Genesis the 25th chapter. He sold his birthright to our forefather Jacob. That's the nigga I'm talking about. Him and his whole generation. That's who's in power right now. That's the wicked elite. The Illuminati everyone talk about. The one that's giving these government contracts and not these government, but these record labels and these porn sites and all of that shit, man. That's Amalek, man, and Esau. Amalek's is the grandson of Esau, Edom. When you read Genesis the 10th chapter, son of Eliphaz, Edomites. They're in power right now, man. And as long as they're in power, the righteous, the elect, they're gonna be poor, they're gonna be low. Okay? But the Lord's gonna raise us up out of this dunghill, according to 1 Samuel the 2nd chapter. All right? Malachi chapter 1 verse 3. And I hated Esau and laid his mountains in his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Okay? So Esau, this is not the first. Esau's been down before, man. He's been down during the Greek times, before the Greeks. After the Roman captivity came out during the Renaissance period, now look at him. Changed the whole world around with that Renaissance art. Leonardo da Vinci. Okay? And Michelangelo. During that time, painting his images over the judges. He seeked to do so during the time in the Maccabean period. I believe that's 1 Maccabees 3 and 18. Let me see if I still got that. Matching up with Job 9 and 24. That's this devil, man. That's his history. Came in the second temple, put up his wicked abominations. Read 1 Maccabees, the first chapter. Let me see, 1 Maccabees chapter 3, I believe, verse 18. No. Nah, that's not it. Let me see if I can grab it. It might be. I don't know why I got 3 and 18 in my head. Let me find it though. I think it says Job 9:24. It's 1 Maccabees 3 verse 48. 1 Maccabees chapter 3 and verse 48. I'll start up. Let's start out, get some context. I'll start at 1 Maccabees 3, I'll start at 45. Now Jerusalem laid void as a wilderness. There was none of her children that went in or out. The sanctuary also was trodden down, and aliens kept the stronghold. Aliens talking about the strangers, the heathen, Edomites. The heathen had their habitation in that place, and joy was taken from Jacob, and the pipe with the harp ceased. Yeah, there was nothing to sing and praise about, man. The tabernacle was taken over by the heathen after the death of Alexander the Great, or the Greek, because ain't nobody greater than Israel, all right? Or ultimately the Most High God through his son and his people, all right? But then he divided his kingdom into four, and the Seleucid Empire and the Ptolemaic Empire were warring against each other, and Israel was in between that. So we was on the south end or the north, getting fucked up by these damn Edomites, fighting for power. Just like they do now. Everyone, while these niggas are fighting with each other, we getting shot in the crossfire, just like niggas do. Niggas will be shooting at each other from across the street, and they go hit an innocent bystander. That's Israel in the middle. That's Esau. Okay? First Maccabees showing you he's that nigga, man. He's a nigga, man. That's the only way to put it. Okay? He's really the reproach of the whole earth. All right? First Maccabees chapter 3, verse 46. Wherefore the Israelites assembled themselves together and came to Maspha over against Jerusalem, for in Maspha was the place where they were prayed aforetime in Israel. So Maspha is a place where they prayed aforetime in Israel. Okay? So while the heathen, the aliens, he talk about aliens, well, the scriptures just describe this nigga as an alien. All right? We got to get rid of the aliens, you know, these aliens. You the fucking alien, man. All right? That's why the scriptures really exposes this devil. He likes to project like a damn narcissist. That's a demon, man. Damn narc. He's the narc, man. Okay? So they were praying, which we should be doing in this time, because you about to get caught in these crosshairs of these Democrats and these dumbass Republicans, and the dumbass Democrats too. They're both the same people. They're both Edomites, wicked, deranged, estranged from the womb, nasty Edomites, man. That need to be enslaved, and put in captivity for all their wickedness of their forefathers, like it tells you in Isaiah the 14th chapter. All right. Isaiah chapter 3, in verse 47. Then they fasted that day and put on sackcloth and cast ashes upon their heads and rent their clothes. So that's a sign of mourning. Okay, we should be in the sign of mourning. We're still not in the land. This was before 70 AD. This is why this is not in your New and Old Testament. I just read the book of Malachi. That's the end of the Old Testament. Well, now we're getting in the middle between the Old and the New Testament. And then this is what this is talking about. The damn Greeks. The nasty Greeks, man. Not the Greeks who live there today. Now that's a mixed race of all types of people. But now, there are a lot of them are Edomites, but, you know, everyone's so mixed. Majority of Esau is in Europe and over here in America. All right, but the Greeks, like for example, I'm thinking about the Italians, Salakia. I'm thinking about the Italians. The Italians, I forgot some Italians are Israelites, and some Greeks are too, because of Deuteronomy 28 verse 64. But majority of them are Edomites. All right, First Maccabees, and they don't know it. Chapter 3. In verse 48, and laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images. And that's what they do. They paint the likeness of their images. Okay, going into iconoclasm. I don't want to read it all, but that's showing you this goes back a far time, man. So a lot of people in history, they don't depict them right, because Esau likes to depict himself as the top dude. He's the bottom of the barrel, though. He's a caveman, cave dweller. All right? He's a nigga, man. The first nigga in the Bible. Read it for yourself. If you had to understand it, you would know he was a serpent in the garden, beguiling Eve, talking to another man's woman, okay? Just like a nigga. And then he stabbed his brother in the back. Same thing, man. Same thing. I mean, nobody want to hear it, but hey, it is what it is. That's what I came out here to do, man. All right? I hope it hurts your ears. Malachi chapter 1 in verse 4, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. And he's returned and built the desolate places. He's returned, built Rome 2.0. He's in multiple times. I mean, he rebuilt Petra. This is like his third time rebuilding Petra. All right? You know, after the Macedonians, the Greeks, you know, the Romans, and in America. Okay? But we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, They shall build, but I will throw down. And he threw down your kingdoms, man. None of his kingdoms last forever. Greeks got taken out. Edom clearly he ain't in that land anymore. All right. You know, Job was talking about a time that was before the Greeks. He wanted to have them by the dogs of his flocks. You go to Job, the 30th chapter. As a matter of fact, let's go there since we're talking about Esau's heritage. And they shall call them the border of wickedness. And there you go. And the people against whom the Lord have indignation forever. So he's forever going to have indignation with this devil. And your eyes shall see, and ye shall say, the Lord will be magnified from the border of Israel. And this is where he's getting, this is where his border at, wherever he's being magnified at. Okay, and it's here in Babylon. Ultimately, it's his believers. All right? Ultimately, it's going to be within Israel. Because he dwells in the midst of Israel, his true believers. Okay? Let's go to Job. Actually, I didn't finish Ecclesiastes 8. Ecclesiastes 8 verse 12. Though a sinner do evil 100 times and his days be prolonged, yet surely I know that it shall be well with them that fear God, which fear before him. But it shall not be well with the wicked, neither shall he prolong his days, which are as a shadow, because he feareth not before God. That's right. So his days are numbered. His days are numbered, man. Yep. All right. Job chapter 30. And verse number 1. But now they that are younger than I have me in derision, whose fathers I would have disdained to have set with the dogs of my flock. So they that are younger than I have me in derision. That's talking about ultimately Israel. Okay, Israel is younger than Esau, but you know, through the Spirit, we're his firstborn. Okay, what's that precept? Israel is my firstborn. Let me grab that. Firstborn. I think it's Exodus. Let me see if I can grab it. Exodus 4. Verse 22, and thou shalt say unto Pharaoh, thus saith the Lord, Israel is my son, even my firstborn. And I say unto thee, let my son go, that he may serve me. And if thou refuse to let him go, behold, I will slay thy son, even thy firstborn. So Israel is considered his firstborn, man. Okay, because through the Spirit, we were created first, man. We were created first before y'all, in the Spirit. Our spirits were created before yours. Right? Ultimately, the elect, we were there since the beginning. Lord's will, we are part of that number. We were there since the beginning. All right? So that's what Job represents, the elect. Okay, now they that are younger than I have me in derision. All right, that's why when Jacob took the birthright away from him, it's because he was older than him through the Spirit. Even though physically, carnally, he's younger than him. All right? If you understand. Job 30 verse 2, yea, whereto might the strength of their hands profit me, in whom old age was perished. For want and famine, they were solitary, fleeing into the wilderness in former time, desolate and waste. So they were desolate and waste. Okay? Fleeing in the wilderness in former times. Solitary. Cave monkeys. Okay? This is the monkey man. You know, there's a I think a Geico commercial. Even a caveman can do it. That's Esau. He knows. He's like making jokes of himself. He knows the truth. All right. He understands this time. He understands what Job is talking about. Okay, but it's not for the world to know. Job chapter 30, verse 4. Who cut up mallows by the bushes and ate juniper roots for their meat. So you gotta look up juniper roots, man. There's little roots that come out of these trees. All right? That's what they ate. They were driven forth from among men. They cried after them as after a thief. And that's talking about you Edomites, man. You saw an Edomite, you saw a thief. Get the fuck out of my yard, Esau. You know? That's how you would treat an Edomite back then. Now look at him. You asking him for a job. Because he has you in derision. Okay, he's the damn thief. You asking a thief, a murderer, a killer for a damn job. This is preposterous, man. And you want to shake hands and hold, be one with this devil, man. Fuck this devil, man. Hope his economy crashes, government open, it don't open up all the way. I hope you Edomites get mad, load up them damn guns you've been buying all these damn years. Go fucking use them shits, man. He that liveth by the sword gonna die by the sword. So and then just slaughter each other, man. All right? Get it popping, man. And this is when the Lord's gonna come. And the Lord's gonna deliver us out of Jacob's trouble. All right? Because Esau, he's just a violent man, man. Anyone that can kidnap kids and hide a damn pedophile list, man, they need to be destroyed, man. They need to be destroyed. They need to be arrested and held to judgment, the highest judgment, which is according to the law. Okay? According to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Heavenly Father. All right? And he don't want to see that judgment. That's what he's running away from. That's why he's a fugitive and a vagabond. Numbers chapter 35, verse 33. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land. So he polluted the land by killing, by slaughtering, by spilling blood. And the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. So you saw that. Numbers 35, verse 33. Next time you try to formulate, trying to get recompense or some compensation, Go tell him Numbers 35 and verse 33. Tell him he that killeth with the sword shall die by the sword. Job chapter 30 and verse 6. To dwell in the cliffs of the valleys, in caves of the earth, and in the rocks. So he's a caveman. To dwell in the clefts of the valley and the holes in the rocks. Let me read that again. Job 30 and 6. To dwell in the cliffs of the valleys, in caves of the earth, and in the rocks. And that's where he likes to hide. He likes to hide in the rocks. All right? Job 30, verse 7. Among the bushes they brayed, under the nettles they were gathered together. Yeah, under the nettles they were gathered together. Under the bushes they brayed. So the Lord brought Esau down to a low state. He didn't even have a language at one point. And you see how elegant his speech is today. This is the Lord, man. Makes me think about what Moses said. How he couldn't speak to the children of Israel. Because, what did he say? He said, who am I? If I can grab that. Exodus chapter 3. And I start at 4. Exodus 4 and verse 1. And Moses answered it and said, but behold, they will not believe me, nor hearken unto my voice. For they will say, the Lord have not appeared unto thee. And the Lord said unto him, what is that in thine hand? Oh, is that it? No. Oh, it is. It's up more, though. Exodus 4 and 10. It says, and Moses said unto the Lord, Yahweh, O my Lord, I am not eloquent, neither heretofore, nor since thou hast spoken unto thy servant, but I am slow of speech and of a slow tongue. And the Lord said unto him, who had made man's mouth, or who maketh the dumb or deaf, or the seeing, or the blind? Have not I the Lord Yahweh? So that's what he did. He took away his language, man. Made a braid in the bushes, man, like a damn donkey. Speaking like a damn caveman without a language. All right? Job 30, verse 7, among the bushes they braid, under the nettles they will gather together. Okay? Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse number it says Deuteronomy 28 and 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. So, you know, brought that out because even though you speak the same language as Esau, he speaks English, you speak English, he still talks over you because he's wicked. Okay? There's a different conversation being held. He'll have a whole conversation right in front of you, and he'll have it go over your head because that's how the wicked speak. They speak with a forked tongue. They're not upright. They're not speaking to you in a way that's like upright. They'll tell you a lie, then tell you the truth. You know, being around Esau long enough, the Lord will reveal that it's a snake. So you gotta learn snake language, man. That's how he talks as the president too. He talking about on 60 Minutes. They asked him, the lady asked him, are you gonna go to war with Venezuela? And he's like, I'm not gonna tell you this and that and the third, and he's not gonna give you a straight up answer. But what he's actually saying is, yeah, that's how he speaks though. All right? I forgot what else he said. There's plenty of examples where he'll talk about something as if he's not gonna do it, and then he goes and does it. That's a form, that's how Edomites speak. They mastered that way of speech. It's to the point where every politician has to speak like that. They probably have to go to school to go speak deceitfully, like a snake. Not to say that you're not supposed to be like that. You know, if you're ruling, you are supposed to use wisdom. You know, you can't let everyone know everything and give your enemy the advantage. You let them know enough. But at the same time, what I'm telling you is when you look at what he has said and what the actions are, you see how his words don't match his actions. All right? His words aren't the way he's using his words and what he's doing are not matching up. Okay? And the scriptures tell us about people like that. How you're supposed to know them by their fruit. In the book of Matthew, I believe that's 7. Let me go there. Matthew chapter 7. Matthew. Is it 7? Yep, Matthew 7. And I'll start at 15. Actually, yeah, let's start at 15. Beware of false prophets which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves. So you got to watch out for people like that. You know, a false prophet telling you things that are not going to happen, or telling you things in order to pretty much come up off of you. All right? They're ravening wolves. Ultimately, they don't want you to have faith in the true Lord, because if you believe in Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai, you're not going to be going into these harlot houses So that's less money in their pocket. Just like that lady who brought her kid up to the altar to give the pastor $2,000. I think she was a little short. He was like, I told you $2,000, man. She's like, it's $1,857 something. Even what's his face? The dude who I forgot his name. The actor who plays that big fat grandma. Actor / producer. He even paid the other half of it. He's like, yeah, you can't be disrespecting black women. This is fucking all foolishness, man. Her dumb ass don't even know who the Lord is, man. And that's why a pastor can talk to her like that. All right? He should be giving her, filling her with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, not lies, so it can benefit him. You paying him $2,000 is not bringing you closer to the Lord. You might be able to write it off on your taxes, but at the end of the day, don't think you're going to get a blessing from the Lord. Ultimately, the Lord is going to destroy you for not having knowledge. All right? Matthew 7 and verse 16. Ye shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles? Yeah, you should know them by their fruits. Okay? A fig tree is supposed to produce a fig fruit. Okay? A vine is supposed to produce a grape. Not thorns and thistles. Respectfully. Or respectively. Matthew 7 verse 17. Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit. Okay, so every good tree bringeth forth good fruit. Okay? The fruit that applies to that tree. He's not bringing, he's talking about establishing some type of a kingdom that's gonna make it great. Okay? In order to do that, you would have to implement the law, statutes, and commandments. He's not implementing any of these laws. He's writing his own unrighteous decrees. So what does that mean? He's a tree trying to produce a fruit that he can't produce. Okay? He's that tree that he's supposed to be a grape, but he's producing thorns and thistles. That's what he's producing. Ultimately, that's used to be destroyed. That's used for stubble, to be burnt up. Okay? Ye shall know them by their fruits, Matthew 7, verse 16. Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles? Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit, and evil is coming. Okay? That corrupt tree is going to bring forth evil fruit. And we're starting to see evil fruit. How is it great again if you're losing the ability to put food on your table? If jobs are being taken away, that's evil fruit. Evil going to Eve, meaning talking about a time, and El, meaning bad. Okay, bad times. That's what that's coming to. That's what this is talking about. Right? A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit. Okay, a good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit. Okay? Neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. Okay, so a corrupt tree cannot bring forth good fruit. Okay? Just like it tells you in the book of Job. And Job, I think it's Job 14. In verse 4. Who can bring a clean thing out of an unclean? Not one. Okay, so not one can bring a clean out of an unclean. Okay, you take a white shirt and throw it in the mud. Is the shirt going to clean the mud? Or is the mud going to dirty up the shirt? Okay, the mud's going to dirty up the shirt. Okay, showing you just like this kingdom. It was established on rape, rob, and murder, and you think it's going to prosper. It's not. It was corrupt from the beginning. It was bred on corruption. It's not going to bring forth anything good. Okay, it's going to bring forth destruction. Now, if he came here being righteous like he likes to say he is, and establish righteous decrees where people can work together and all this other stuff, everyone would have their own land. No one would be complaining. All right, everyone would be in their natural order, but Esau's not here to do that. He's not here to bring forth a righteous community. Job chapter 30. In verse 8, they were children of fools, yea, children of base men. They were viler than the earth. That's Esau. He's viler than the earth. And the Lord set him up to be in positions of power. So this is way more corrupt than any tree that you can think of. This is the most corrupt, most vile. Okay, running the world right now, being in the top seat. Okay, and no one's willing to come out and expose this devil, and nobody wants to talk about this devil, man, and all the wickedness that he's done. Okay, and he made it. He done beat up you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans so badly. You don't even talk about this nigga no more. You want to be like him. Well, you have fun being like him, man. You have fun being like him, because he's gonna kill your ass, man. Going back to Hosea, the 4th chapter. Okay, Matthew 7 and verse 19. Every tree that bringeth forth not forth, Salakia. Matthew 7 and verse 19. Every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. And this is the place. This is that tree, man. That's going to be cast into the fire. Or those thermonuclear missiles. Okay, because it's not producing good fruit. They should be bringing the children back to the fathers. Nope, he ain't bringing the children back to the father. All right, you don't want Israel to return back to the father, because then where's he going to be at? There's no place for him after that. He's supposed to keep you as far away from the Lord as he possibly can so he can rule. That's his mission. It's the Lord's saints, his elect, that are going to come out here and try to persuade his sheep to come back to the father, his lost sheep. All right, just like it tells you in the book of Luke, chapter 15. Luke chapter 15. And verse 1. Then drew near unto him all the publicans and sinners for to hear him. And that's talking about Yahushua, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. And the Pharisees and scribes murmured, saying, this man receiveth sinners and eateth with them. So he's sitting down with the sinners and eating with them. And he spake this parable unto them, saying, what man of you, having 100 sheep, if he lose one of them, doth not leave the 90 and 9 in the wilderness, and go after that which is lost until he find it? And when he have found it, he layeth it up on his shoulders, rejoicing. And when he cometh home, he calleth together his friends and neighbors, saying unto them, rejoice with me, for I have found my sheep, which was lost. And that's talking about his elect sheep, man. Okay, ultimately it's the nation of Israel, Salakia, but it's also talking about his elect. Okay, that's who he's fishing for, because 2/3 are going to get cut off and die. They're not going to make it through this affliction. They're going to trust this devil, whatever capability he got, and they're going to be destroyed because of it. All right. Luke 15 verse 7. I say unto you that likewise joy shall be in heaven over one sinner that repenteth, more than over 90 and 9 just persons which need no repentance. So that one person that repents and comes into the knowledge of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, hey, the heavens are rejoicing over that. They're not rejoicing over you going to pray to the so-called white man. You're a damn fool. I think the dude from one of these hustling dudes from Black Mafia family, I don't know if it was Meech or somebody related to Meech, went to the church. They rubbing on him. He's telling the story. Oh, I've been shot 7 times. Look at this bullet wound. And Jesus Christ saved me. No, he didn't, nigga. You fool. Dumbass, man. The Lord's not rejoicing. The heavens are not rejoicing over that. He's gonna continue to be wicked. Oh, we just accept everybody. No, there's a certain way you gotta act when you come into this truth, man. All right. He got his head shaved. He got no beard on his face. Just like everybody in the church. They don't keep the laws, man. At all. All right, John 14 and verse 15. If ye love me, keep my commandments. Okay, so if you love the Lord, you're going to keep his commandments. All right. John 14 and 21. He that have my commandments and keepeth them, he it is that loveth me. And he that loveth me shall be loved of my Father, and I will love him and will manifest myself to him. So this is you got to keep the law, man. And him manifesting himself to you is giving you this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. You get to know him. He's going to sup with you, like it says in Revelation 3 and 20. John chapter 14 in verse 23. I'll start at 22. Judas saith unto him, not Iscariot, Lord, how is it that thou wilt manifest thyself unto us and not unto the world? Yahushua answered and said unto him, if a man love me, he will keep my words, and my Father will love him. And we will come unto him and make our abode with him. Okay, so you got to keep the commandments if you love him. Okay, simple as that. So he answers your questions. Luke 15 and verse 8. Either what woman having 10 pieces of silver, if she lose one piece, doth not light a candle and sweep the house and seek diligently till she find it? And that's what we're doing. We're like the woman. We're sweeping the house of Israel, okay? Looking for the elect, okay? And when she have found it, she calleth her friends, which are the other elect, okay? We're calling the friends. And her neighbors together, saying, rejoice with me, for I have found the peace which I had lost. So this is Yahushua sheep here, okay? He's getting the knowledge, he's getting the truth. It's a rejoicing when we hear, when we see somebody coming to the knowledge and the truth, man. Because we know that came from the Lord. You could feel it when they have the understanding, when the scriptures, when the Spirit's dealing with them. You could tell that the Spirit's in heaven. You could feel it, man. Okay, it's spiritual. Luke 15 and 10, likewise I say unto you, there is joy in the presence of the angels of God over one sinner that repenteth. And that's just like the 99 sheep that he left behind to go get that one sheep. He tells you in the book of Matthew chapter 10 and verse 5, I come not but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Let me grab it. Matthew 10 verse 5, these 12 Yahushua sent forth and commanded them, saying, go not into the way of the Gentiles and into any city of the Samaritans, enter ye not, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Okay, Israel, and Yasharala, which is talking about us, Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. Matthew chapter 15 and verse 21. Then Yahushua went thence and departed into the coast of Tyre and Zidon. And behold, a woman of Canaan came out of the same coast and cried unto him, saying, have mercy on me, O Lord, thou son of David. My daughter is grievously vexed with the devil. But he answered her not a word. And his disciples came and besought him, saying, send her away, for she crieth after us. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Then came she and worshipped him, saying, Lord, help me. But he answered and said, it is not meet to take the children's bread and to cast it to dogs. And she said, truth, Lord, yet the dogs eat of the crumbs which fall from their master's table. Then Yahushua answered and said unto her, O women, great is thy faith, be it unto thee even as thou wilt. and her daughter was made whole from that very hour. So what's that talking about? Showing you that the Canaanite woman was an Israelite. All right? If he told her, I'm not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel, and then he saves the daughter, okay? They're Israelites. All right? He's not going to cast it unto the dogs, okay? Just like this word, his dogs is a representation ultimately to 2/3 of the nation of Israel. Dogs were considered Israelites too, okay? And it also applies to the heathen, okay? It's only for his sheep, man. But then he was healing Israel, he was doing all these things, but in this time, you're going to be destroyed, all right? And let me finish what I had in Hosea, and I'm going to end it on that. Hosea, I dropped it. Hosea 4, I started at 2. Points to 6. Hosea 4, verse 2. By swearing and lying and killing and stealing and committing adultery, they break out and blood touches blood. So pretty much being wicked, transgressing the laws. Therefore shall the land mourn, and everyone that dwelleth therein shall languish. And you're languishing because of all this wickedness that's being implemented. With the beasts of the field and with the fowls of heaven, yea, the fishes of the sea also shall be taken away. And that's what we're seeing. Okay, the fish of the sea, the fowls of the air, the beasts of the field. Beasts of the field are being taken away. That's why he's buying beasts from Argentina. Okay, look at the earth is being destroyed. He had especially here in Boston, he had to put scallops back in the sea. Okay, they getting all type of radioactive isotopes. You know, the fish are being destroyed, man. And the air, in the birds too. All these different 6G, 5G. That shit killed mad birds, man. Okay, all this whole system, man, killed a lot of animals. And it's just gonna get worse. He's trying to implement more and more of his technological advancements in order to implement his MOTV. You're gonna have cameras and shit all over the place. It's the same thing, man. Yet let no man strive nor reprove another, for thy people are as they that strive with the priests. Yeah, they strive with the priests. The priests are supposed to keep the law at their mouth, man. They're supposed to be asking the priests about the laws, man. But they strive, meaning fight. Therefore shalt thou fall in the day, and the prophets also shall fall with thee in the night, and I will destroy thy mother. Okay, so he's going to destroy you. All right? And that's not talking about your actual mother, man, but he could destroy your mother too. Could be talking about your actual mother. These scriptures are sevenfold, but what it's talking about is the nation of Israel, man. The priests, the prophets that are false teaching, he's going to come after y'all. Ultimately talking about Jerusalem. Jerusalem is a people before it's a place. So he's talking about so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and you other speckled birds that are out there. Okay? He's talking about y'all too. This is the point. Hosea 4 verse 6. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, saying thou hast forgotten the law of thy God. I will also forget thy children. And I'm going to end it there. This was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, Bahashem, Shai, Bahashem, Yakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone, Shalom, Abad Rabal, and Kwam Yasharala.